You should just say, today we're going to take a 12-pack of beer.
Yeah.
Because by God, we will get that done. I don't know about anything else.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Safety Optional. We are back again in record time this time, working on our engine swap project. We're putting this 5.3 liter V8 out of a 2005 Tahoe into this 1987 Jeep Comanche pickup. I know every one of these episodes I talk about all the great things that we're going to do that we never accomplished, so tonight we're just going to dig right in and get started. Wow, this thing's handier than a pocket on a shirt. Good call. Actually, I'm not. I'm getting close to where I need to change this. All right, got the hole drilled in our exhaust pipe here, and I've got our O2 sensor installed in the bung. I just need to weld the bung onto the pipe here, but at least I know that's going to work just fine. So I'm going to go weld this up. I have gone ahead and installed the O2 sensor bungs into these pipes. So these are ready to go pretty much all the way back to where we're going to mount our cherry bombs. So I'm going to go ahead and thread the O2 sensor in here while it's out of the truck. I think that'll make my life a whole lot easier rather than having to reach on top and try to screw that thing in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here now, and then just snap the wire whenever we put it in.
What are you trying to do?
All right, so I was going to what am I doing?
Use your words. I'm having a tall boy PBR tonight.
I am trying to test out and troubleshoot the fuel pump. That's probably gonna blow off of there.
How's it going so far, Eric, with your testing and troubleshooting?
Not well. I don't think I tested it right. Evan pointed out that the black wire that comes out of the fuel pump might not be the ground, and to try and ground the fuel tank. So I'm going to try to ground the fuel tank and then run the power into the orange wire, which I'm pretty sure is power. And hopefully I don't burn the car down whenever I do that. Okay, now I think that should be grounded with our jumper cable.
So when you touch it, it should go...
It should.
Unless the
Hopefully
interior
it
wire...
flies up there and sprays gas in my eye. Nope.
Nope, drop the tank. Oh, I think it's bad. Actually, probably don't need to drop it.
Something's wrong in the tank. It's like the third time, fourth time we've had to take down the daggum.
Yeah, well, let's take the wire. Let's just redo all the intake wiring.
Oh, wow, that worked good.
lift up on it and pull it toward the push up. Yeah, push the whole thing. Comes out a little. There you go. There you go. Move your head back so you don't dribble anything in your eye. I see an unhooked wire.
Not yet.
Already. I see an unhooked wire.
Hey, yeah, we didn't have to pull the tank this time. Someone should.
Don't tell Colin that we figured out how to do it without pulling the tank. Oh yeah, no, you got to pull the tank, absolutely. It was miserable.
It's like the 9th time.
Yeah, Eric was cussing the whole time.
Well,
that
I mean, what could go wrong with electricity and
Gasoline.
This is such a bad idea. Oh, it still didn't turn on.
Nope.
Something ain't right.
She ain't chooching. Crap. What is going on here? Okay, let's think here.
Hey man, trying to diagnose the fuel pump.
Still not working?
Don't know. It looks like it's not. We got the pump out of the tank. Figured out how to get the pump out without having to drop the tank at least.
Oh, that's good.
But can't figure out why the pump's not spinning. We did get O2 sensor bungs welded in though.
That's good.
Crap.
So does it look like the pump's dead?
Yes. It looks like the pump is dead.
That's a new pump, right?
Yeah, brand new
Yeah.
fancy pump. Let's get it out on the bench and go fuck with it some more. Take that battery and the pump, Eric. Get the hoses disconnected. Let's take it over here and do some more diagnosis on the bench where we're not uncomfortable.
Yeah, you got that flathead right there. Just take those 2 pipe clamps off those black hoses and carry it out.
Dang it. Well, that stinks.
That's literally all we've done tonight, other than me working on the exhaust to get it all welded up. So I'm going to get the exhaust.
Alright, so this is power, pretty sure. Then ground is obviously right there, and it grounds to the body. Okay, we need some alligator clips. But that'll have to do. Just touch it straight to the terminal. Can't get any more direct than this. Positive. 12 volts, 12.23 volts. But nada. Yeah, El Nopo. That thing is cooked. Oh, here. See here. See here. Right, come on. Right. Surely this won't burn my finger.
If it burns my finger, I'll be here. I'm not gonna.
Well, I've been up underneath the Jeep putting in the exhaust for hopefully the final time. Eric and Matt pulled the fuel pump out.
If you think about it, a motor is just a wire. So if you measure its resistance, you should definitely get, you know, it should be able to measure the resistance. It should be pretty low. This one measures infinite resistance.
Which means there's a break in it.
Yes, and our old crusty one here from 1987 measures 12 ohms. And you can hear it trying to go. You can definitely tell that it's trying to run.
Yeah.
That one is dead, and I am unimpressed with Deatschwerks.
So our bodacious Deatschwerks fuel pump didn't even last long enough to get us running. And unfortunately, it's 9 o'clock and the parts store's just closed. So again, another night, and it ain't gonna run.
Hey, at least you didn't promise it was.
That sucks. And I really wanted to like Deatschwerks because they're an Oklahoma company.
Not cool.
We're just going to go get a stock fuel pump for a Jeep, I guess.
Yep.
On the next episode.
That's how it works. No, that's how you get into low. You drive, low, 2, 3.
I've never had a
Drive.
shifter like that before.
Every all right, on a Chevrolet transmission on my truck, pull it back, reverse, neutral.
Yeah, but you don't go
Drive.
doom, 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 you know?
Yes, you do. You go clunk, clunk, clunk into 1, 2, 3, drive.
No, but the whole shifter moves like when you go down to 2 and 1. It goes farther down. It doesn't like ratchet down.
Well, yeah, but that's just the way this one works.
And that's stupid.
But Eric, the thing would swing in an arc where it would be upside down on the floor. It's not moving on a column where it can move 90 to 100 degrees. This shifter has to have a limited range. That's why it does that.
I don't know. I think
So when you want to go rock crawling, you pull it back, and then you go down into 1, and then you take off and you slam it into 2, and then you take off and slam it into 3, then back into drive.
so. Does ours have all those 3, 2, 1 gears
Yep.
and all that crap?
It does.
I mean, it should, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like that. I wish I'd have bought a different shifter.
There
Yeah,
are
work
no
that
other
way.
shifters like that. To convert a column shifter to a console shifter like this, that's pretty much it. Unless you want to go find a truck with a column shifter.
Now at least we know how it works.
That's how it works.
I call that done. Done enough. Whew. She's red hot. Make sure there's no fire in the cab. Now I'll just wait for that to cool. Put a nut on there and bolt that up, and our exhaust will be hung where it won't be bouncing around. Somewhere.
Okay, so here's what we've got up underneath. I have got the cherry bomb bolted on to the end of the exhaust pipe running back from the header, and we've got a hanger now. So that's a bolt welded to the body with a nut on it, and then you got our nice little strap here to give us a little cushion between the exhaust and the body, and that supports the exhaust, and then that's welded on there. So that's super nice. And then we've got the same thing over here. So quite simply, just put that strap up on there, and somewhere is a nut. Was a nut? I don't know. The nut goes on there. Oh, here. So yeah, put a nut on there. Maybe a washer, who knows. So bam, our exhaust is all bolted up and on, and then we can eventually get another exhaust clamp and do a dump out the side and just like clamp it on here for now, just to kind of route the exhaust out a little way. And it looks like we still need to get rid of the old exhaust pipe there, so something to do on the next one.
We can leave that there for the burnout though.
Sure, why not? But so exhaust, I'm pronouncing the exhaust complete, thank goodness. So that's one thing we can just completely check off the list, which is nice. All right, so here's what I'm suggesting for that is that you've got your floor hump that's kind of like that, right? I'm suggesting you make a plate that sits just a hair above it, like that, and then turns down, and then you beat to fit to make it fit like that on the hump, right? And that thing mounts like to that, right? So you bolt there, bolt there, bolt there, bolt there.
Yeah, but just what you said, the fatigue and forcing on that thing is still going to be.
But I'm saying, if you make this out of heavy plate, if you make that a heavy enough plate, this won't fatigue, right? And then if you make it longer than that, so if it extends beyond,
You'd have to bolt it in like several places.
yeah,
maybe
to
along
spread the load out.
So did the roadkill guys fatigue?
No, because the roadkill guys built theirs at an angle that was welded down to the deal, and like a pretty long deal, pretty long thing.
Yeah.
So that would run back, you know, quite a ways.
Bolting anything in there's gonna be a big pain in the rear.
You know, so you'd run several bolts into, yeah, bolting anything's gonna be a pain. You could weld it in, but see what I'm saying, Matt?
Right.
Yeah, so your shifter would be running right here with the handle like that. You know, it would swing an arc like that, but
Man, I'm not
this
even
would be
sure how.
bent
Yeah,
plate,
That's gonna be a project.
or it could be channel with a little piece welded on.
That's gonna be a project.
Or alternatively, if that's your plate, you just run a piece of freaking angle iron like that with the shifter mounted here, where the mechanism's like that and the handle's up there, and the angle iron is just held with like some more scrap plate here, maybe scrap plate there, and then that's to another piece of angle that's down, that runs, you know, like far down there, and it just, there's your angle.
I like the angle
So you
iron.
just have two pieces of angle with some plate.
I think you're right, but I think we need to patch the hole, lay angle iron on top, and bolt the shifter to it.
Isometric.
Yeah, well, I try to get cute every now and then. Project Binky that are moving faster than we are with progress on our car.
I'm not so sure.
So I'm saying I could tolerate this shifter being up a little bit higher, and so we make an angle iron mount to raise this up a little bit, and it.
I don't think it needs to be. I think we need a mount for it, absolutely, but it doesn't need to be higher. It's gonna look like some. It's like the ape hanger equivalent of pickups or something.
Well, think about where the shifter was before. It was pretty high up.
No, it wasn't. Go look at the Jeep. It's not that. It's
We still
not
got
the same height.
We still got the trans. No, I'm thinking of the manual trans that was in here.
Yeah, but we don't need it to be that. I think we should make it high enough to make a mount under it.
I don't know. I kind of, yeah, just high enough to make a good solid plate steel mount.
Yeah, I think long term that'll work, but I think Matt did have a point on the burnout.
So for the burnout, we
Let's
get
just-
some self tappers and
No,
self tap it right down,
Let's just
right on down.
Let loosey goosey in there.
No, just right on there with the self tapper. Beep, 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 beep. Done.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that might work.
That's what the existing steering wheel did to my arm. It's
Steering wheel.
yeah, it's like
Melting.
it's disintegrating.
We're gonna have a Momo like the red Jeep.
Yeah, something like that. All right, I want to show you one other thing we've got here. So we've been talking about how we're going to be able to have gauges in this thing, because the stock Jeep gauges will not work with a Chevrolet V8, right? So I got on the internet, I went to Amazon, and I found this bad boy for like 35 bucks. It's an Autool And what it is it is a OBD multi-purpose gauge. And it's just this little thing, and it's just cheap chintzy plastic, and it's got a little wheel on top that you can push in and flick side to side. But the cool part is it just plugs in to your computer right under the dash. And I've been testing it in my pickup because I've got this exact same engine in my 2005 Chevy pickup. And this is just the coolest thing ever. It just connects in with a little USB plug. It's got a photo cell on the back for the brightness. Plug it in. And this bad boy, let me show you what all it will tell you from your truck. All right, Matt, come here. All right, we have this little gem plugged in into my pickup. Focus, focus. Okay, so here's what it's displaying right now. You'll see it's got miles per hour in this base view, the coolant temperature, and your voltage, and then the bottom one should be a tachometer, but the refresh rate is pretty slow on this. But you can customize all this display here. Let me cycle through. So it's got the tach. You can see what the refresh rate is, pretty slow. But it refreshes about that fast for the speedometer, which is just fine for us. It'll give you your fuel consumption in liters per hour. Not really good information. Average fuel consumption. It's got an odometer that starts whenever you plug it in. Trip meter. Clock, which is a timer from when you started it. This is cool. Ignition timing advance. Ooh. Oil temperature. How cool is that? So you can have your coolant temperature and your oil temperature, which I like that. Oil pressure, which evidently isn't working on this one.
Your
I don't know.
engine's dead, sorry.
Yeah. Fuel level input, I'm not really sure what that is. Engine load, that's kind of cool. It'll tell you how much load you're under. Absolute throttle position, so you can check to make sure that it can detect your throttle position. Intake manifold absolute pressure.
Don't let it get too high.
Yeah. Fuel rail pressure, I don't think that works on the Chevy trucks. This is made to work on a variety of engines. Battery voltage, of course, that's always a handy one to have. Ambient air temperature, which I don't think it works on this. Intake air temperature, which is cool. So if you wanted to make sure that, you know, you weren't sucking in a bunch of hot air through your crappy cold air intake, that's where you check that out. Speed average, that's going to be 0 because I'm not moving. Coolant temperature, so that matches that because that's the same gauge. And then speed, so we'll have a speedometer. So we could use this theoretically. This little $35 part could be used in lieu of all the gauges as a kind of a stopgap measure. Well, folks, it's been another work night. Not a lot accomplished. Kind of noticing a theme around here. I think we actually got more done without RC Gusto here. I don't know how that works, but just kidding. So tonight we got underneath, we got the exhaust done, finally. So when we do run this thing, it'll be toned down a hair and we won't just be fogging ourselves out of the shop. And we finally diagnosed what's wrong with the fuel pump. Obviously, the rad Deatschwerks fuel pump that we were so stoked to have, not that great. So in the meantime, between now and our next work night, we're going to go ahead and just get a stock sending unit for this thing. If we can find one for an MJ Comanche with a 4.0, that should provide enough fuel flow and pressure for us to be able to run this thing. Fortunately, our Deatschwerks fuel regulator will come in handy. Then we'll be able to dial the pressure up there. And then we hopefully, in the meantime, we'll have Eric come back here and do a little bit of wiring cleanup. That way we don't have to worry about poking the wire in the little doot-doot hole to make the fuel pump run. And Oh, we started trying to figure out the shifter some more. Yeah. That's all we got done tonight. So I'd just like to say to all of you who've been watching our videos, following along with our project, we really appreciate it. When you watch our videos, it makes us feel that we're not alone in this endeavor, and gosh, you know, this is something that we want to be able to share with people. This is going to be too exciting not to share if it works. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.